Very good morning, అందరికీ స్వాగతం for this small lecture demonstration by Dr. Vasant Kiran garu. A very eminent dancer from Bangalore. If you haven't Googled, please do. I just did it a couple of days ago and there are like tons of things that he has done. He has done a lot of research, a lot of contribution to the dance, be it choreography or new choreographies or talas and programs as such. He has been a judge at many events for I think 18 long years. The other day we were just discussing and he said he happened to be for 18 years as a judge for the South Zone competitions, right? So it's huge, and the bios, I was so impressed. I said, yeah, everybody should know this talent, and that's how we are here today to share. And he's been nice enough to have agreed to share his knowledge with us here in New Jersey, and we're just fortunate to have him exhibit a few nuances of why dance and why Kuchipudi, or the difference between Bharatanatyam and Kuchipudi. A vidhanga traditional classical art forms would be beneficial for us in this fast living modern society. So I thought that was a wonderful way of bringing it all together for us and for our kids today. So just as a formal introduction, I probably will go through a couple of his achievements, although it's vast, as I just said. Having spent the last 1 week with him, I just got to know more and more about his accomplishments, which I probably wouldn't have known had I just talked over the phone. And he's been humble enough, he never expressed all that, but thank you for the time, Vasantheru. Dancer, an autonomous exponent, a choreographer, teacher, and scholar of art, excellence of Kuchipudi and Bharatanatyam styles. A sought-after speaker and a student's favorite, Dr. Vasant Kiran is an established name and internationally reputed in the field of performing arts. He served as a visiting professor in India, Germany, and France. He has trained thousands of students across the globe and has performed in over 25 countries. Several dance dramas like Ardhanarishwara, Pancharama Kshetra, Navashakti, and many others were presented in prestigious festivals like Khajuraho, Vedavyasa, Mysuru, Dasara, and many more. He has composed over 100 dance compositions for Bharatanatyam and Kuchipudi and released a CD. He has also made a name for himself as a leading Natuna and has accomplished many several star dancers, including Manju Barvigaru and etc. So we are very happy that he's also a recipient of Central Sangeet Natak Academy's Ustad Bismillah Khan Yuva Puraskar, a very prestigious award given by the central government to a very accomplished artist per se. Yeah, yes, definitely. Thank you, Vasantheru, once again. So the floor is all yours. Please.
Namaskaram. Moving down to this divine ambience and to all the deities here. This talk of mine, I wouldn't say lecture, is so embellished that it is accompanied with the shlokas that are going on in the background. That already means that's divine in by itself. Before I begin, we have the Kuchipudi is a South Indian dance form. I'm sure all of you know it comes from Andhra Pradesh. Kuchipudi is the only dance form in the world where it is also a name of a place, right? So if there is Bharatanatyam, then that's not a location, but it's the name of an art form. But Kuchipudi, or rather, is the only dance form in India where if you not just Google it, but also on the Google Maps, you'll find Kuchipudi and you can drive. It's in Krishna district, of very close to Vijayawada, and it's Uyuru, Amar, and then you reach Kuchipudi, which is close to Machilipatnam and Bandra also. So that being, I'm sure a lot of you come from that area, can connect to what I'm telling, yeah? Telugu varik kuda welcome andi. So it's a great honor to have all of you here. Then we have a particular structure of how we start. So I would like to sing the shloka and say 2 lines about the goddess and then. गिरिजार्णव पूर्णेन्दुं समञ्चितकलानिधिं अपस्त विघ्नतामिश्रं शूर्पकर्णमुपास्महे మూర్తులకు మూలమైన కూచిపూడిలో వెలసిన పరకు అంబ పరకు దేవి పరకు మమ్మేలు మా శారదాంబ పరకు ఇరిదిగా నిన్ను కోరిన వారిని కదలే కనక దుర్గమ్మ పరకు అంబ పరకు దేవి పరకు మమ్మేలు మా శారదాంబ పరకు ఓ ఓ ఓ జనని అంబ దుర్గాంబ జనని అంబ ఓ జనని అంబ దుర్గాంబ జనని అంబ ఈత తద్దిందం గడగరి తరి దినగడగదం తరి 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 దినగడగదిం దిం దగడగదిం దగడగదిం దగడగద వాగర్ధ వివ సంపృక్తం వాగర్ధ ప్రతిపత్తయే జగత పితరో వందే పార్వతీ పరమేశ్వరు. The sitting deity of the Kuchipudi village is Bala Tripura Sundari, and that's supposed to be a Swayambhu there, and still even today in the modern times that we are all lecturing or talking about, Ival Kuda, I am one of the person who is the proof, because I have heard that you hear her, she is tied with Mughal, Gejjat Kartarama, Kala Mughal. You can hear the bells even when the temple is closed. You know? That's the power. She's a dancing goddess and she loves to dance, and you can hear that. And she's the protector of this Kuchipudi village, and the knowledge of the dance comes from her. So that's a great form is what you all are practicing, listening, and going to learn or should be learning about. Again, India is a country not just known for what we have advanced ourselves right now, but the world is looking forward. That is, we are now gone from 2.2 to 3.2 to 4.0. Now we're talking about AI. In the verge of artificial intelligence that world is talking about, India humbly always reminds you about being a great human first, before we look at the artificial things. We are great in our things. And so when India we think about, it's about the values, its culture, its tradition, its customs. These are the things that we stand for. And these performing arts like music and dance stand forefront when it comes to what we have taken up on our shoulders and protected the dance forms. And why do we call them classical? Why do we call them classical dance forms? We can call them any other dance form, right? Just say whatever you think it is. Why do we call this as classical dance? We can call this as dance. It's like really old, yeah. See, thank you for the answer. Now, when we say it's really old, it's as old as anything that we remember in this country. So we do not really have roots, but then it can be traced back to Natya Shastra, which is about 2nd century. And second century already means about plus 2000 years old, right? There are dance forms. Since then, whatever the book Natya Shastra, which is written by Bharata Muni mentions, we still follow that till date. For example, Patakas Tripata Kordapataka Kattari Mukaha Mayura Chandra Kyapyara Shukatunda Kapushtisha Shigarakya Kapinda. These hastas, everything is mentioned there, and we still follow that. One that does not change, irrespective of the change of the society, is classical. Right? What society cannot alter but will remain. Our lifestyles change, the way we look, the way we talk, the way we dress, the way we study, the way we move on, the way we respect our people. Everything changed. But these art forms don't change. Even after coming to US, you will still dress like this, you still came in sari, you still put the bottu. This is one greatest way to say that we are Indians, we are the one who follow the Sanatana Dharma. And that classical, because it reminds us of what we come from and where we come from, right? So we are talking about the fast life and we talk about everything. Educations, you could be from Harvard or Stanford or Carnegie or wherever, but then the roots are strong. Because there are two things. For me, as an artist, there are two kinds of an achievement. One, an external achievement, that is your awards, your accolades, your job, your career, your money you make, the properties you make, the kind of name you make, that is everything. What about the internal? Right? The internal purification, the good person you become, the person who respects the values, the person who looks at other people more respectfully, the person who speaks up where they come from, the person who knows what their roots are, where do they come from. And children like this, it is such a beautiful opportunity that even in far 7 oceans away from a country like India, you people still are blessed to have teachers here like Guru Srimati Indira Garu, who is ready to give the art form in its most peculiar, original way. In fact, I must say that India, sometimes we do missing out on talents like her to US, because some of the cream of Vempati Chinna Satya Master in those days, who's the Adi Guru of this art form, are all here. And she is one of those cream of cream dancers that we all looked up when we were learning. Names when we were learning dance in academy, they were all the names that we heard. There is a guru like this, there was a dancer like this, Allah chase chawal together. So we didn't know what that looks like at all, but then he used to put videos and show us. So you are all lucky that you're directly under them. So this is one luck for us. We fast forward to these this dance form it is science. It is not art. There has been a huge debate and PhD thesis also done and proved that arts is science. And if it was not science, if you look at the other dance forms, I will not name them, but if you look at other dance forms, I can name at least our countries like Bollywood or contemporary that they do. You see the children, whenever they go, they come back from the class, they'll have bandages, they'll have injuries, they'll have some leg pains, they complain of the cramps or twists and all that. You will not have that with classical. Maximum what you'll have is leg pains because we screw them. The efforts that they put is much more. So hence you will feel that the leg pains are more because of that kind of efforts we put. Otherwise it's scientifically done. And because it is studying the physiology and anatomy of the body, and hence he defines it in dance language called as Anga Upanga Pratyanga. Natya Shastralo lenidide prapanchanlo undedani Raspati said. When I was in the university in Bangalore, a team from Stanford University scholars came down to research about Natya Shastra's aspects of psychology. They were proving that the origin of psychology study is from India. And they were trying to search the sources, right? The study of psychology first time was defined by somebody and it is in India. And it is Natya Shastra. It is dance because he mentions about Bhava, Vibhava and Anubhava, which is conscious, subconscious and underconscious and subliminal minds, which psychology studies you in the layers and levels of how you understand an emotion. And when you talk about emotion, nothing better than India, right? And we are people with emotion. We connect. We want our children to be connected. That's because we are emotional. The emotional, one side could be a strength, but one side could be weakness, but we are proud of the way we are, right? We are bonded, we are cultured, and that bonding comes from this Indian arts form, right? Tell me which other country believes in touching the feet of their guru and taking blessings every time they go to class? Which other country believes in touching the parents' feet, amma, nana? They touch your feet, and take blessings in certain occasions like festivals at least. No other country even does it. But why do we do that? The best of the blessings is supposed to come from there. And we used to run to catch the feet of a Master Garu or Guru Garu. We didn't know what it is, but we know that one of the blessings is why I am here today. Right? And that takes you from wherever you are to somewhere. Your body in a classical dance class, what is the advantages, Analite? I think what are the disadvantages of going? There's only advantages. There's always going to be something good only. But the only other side is, yes, your mother takes the extra efforts to drive you, drop you, pick you up, or be there for an hour, etc. But that's something that mothers in India definitely need to do. We do it. And we do it with so selflessly. We don't expect anything back because we want our children, we're teaching them dance not because they should suddenly become some Vaijayantimala, Hema Malini or Indira Garu or me and become famous. No, that's not the case. We want them to be connected. If it so happens that they become better than that, it's their luck. So in arts, it is defined very clearly in Shastra saying that Kala Jeevitam Purva Janma Sukurtam. So for you to become an artist now, Aru Janmallo Mundu, if you would have done something good, you get a life of an artist on the seventh one. That's why you guys come to temples looking for God? Look at artists. Now all three of them definitely look like goddesses themselves. What is the picture of you of a god or a goddess? Is it anything different than this? చక్కగా ఒక అమ్మవారికి పాపడు బిడ్డ వేసి ఓ మంచి బొట్టు పెట్టి చక్కగా పచ్చడి చీర పసుపు చీర కట్టి and then she comes in so divine with a face with a smile and కాళ్ళలో పారాణి మొబైల్ పెట్టుకొస్తే ఏ అమ్మవారికైనా తప్పండి. What more joy will you find in watching your children be that you get up and worship? That's why there's a beautiful saying as a dancer, then I always tell them, if you sit and pray, God sleeps and listens. If you stand and pray, God sits and listens. If you dance and pray, God is dancing along with you. So He is within you and you don't have to separately listen. He knows you. And it is His permission that you're dancing. Remember, we are a country that believes in a concept of karma so strongly that we know everything. If you are meant to be here, you are meant to be here. It's not because you thought you'd come to temple and you came here. It's not because somebody, are just were passing by and thought, oh, somebody's talking, let me go. No. He wanted you to come. Though you sit for 5 minutes or not, though you sit for entire 60 minutes or not, it's everything planned. And that concept of karma is what brings these kids back to this art form. It seems artists select the wombs of those lucky mothers to be born from and take their help till they become artists because that's how they realize being divine. And the divine culture. Recently, all of you know the biggest event in India was the Ayodhya Ram Temple consecration. The huge, one of the most biggest temple. We are standing in the temple. One of the strongest consecration happens about 41 days to 48 days. Prana Pratishtapana, what we call it as, it goes about 41 48 days. So we do Shodashokachara. Shodashokachara is 16 kinds. What he was reading is one of those. So from the Vedas, Upanishad, mantras will be read and 16 other forms. Music and dance is one. So Geetam Shavayami. So then somebody sings. Nrityam Darshayami. This is to bring Ram to life. 41 artists every day to perform. Like 41 days were chosen by Narendra Modi ji's government to perform in front of Ram. So, and I know maybe I was that Vanar Sena from that when Rama Yuganlo, maybe I was one of this monkey who went and put little stone and helped Ram. Right? Isn't it possible? I could be that one. So, and that is why in this life, I was one of those 41 artists who went chosen. And what can I explain? I'm getting goosebumps because this is the Rama Vigraham. I'm dancing here in front of him. There are millions of people in queue. The queue went on, sometime it was overnight, 24 hours queue because they couldn't handle the people. And I am dancing right in front of him for 60 minutes. 60 minutes I danced happily in front of him. Danced for him, I was looking at him, and then I said, what luck do you call? And what do you call this? And then, I was like, okay, I only dance, but I wish I could sit and watch it because my time is over, I have to go. The Pujari said, आपको कहीं जाना है? I said, नहीं, कहीं नहीं जाना। तो बैठो ना, देखो थोड़ी देर उसको, और कहाँ नहीं मिलेगा chance. And then for another 60 minutes, I was just sitting and watching him. It is not because you are a famous artist, it is because you are meant to be there. For some reason, he owed something to me, and I owe something to him. And I had to return it by this way that నేను నేర్చుకున్న విద్యని ఆయన ముందు కంటే ఇంకా ఎన్ని లక్షల మంది ముందు ఎంత కెనడీ సెంటర్లోనో ఎంత ప్యారిస్లో డాన్స్ చేసేదానికన్నా ముందు ఆయన ఒక్క ముందు చేస్తే చాలు కదా. అండ్ ఐ థింక్ మై లైఫ్ ఇస్ ఐఎమ్ సో కంటెంటెడ్. దట్స్ వై వెన్ ఐ గో ఇన్ 1 week, if you see her, I'm not jumping for anything, I'm not running after anything or anything. I said, what's Then morning also she said, she was kind of little feeling bad that there were people who came, and I said, no. I see hundreds and thousands in each one sitting here. So I already feel the hall is full because they take care of the rest of the audience. వాళ్ళ ముందు కన్నా చేసేదానికన్నా ఆనందం ఇంకోటి ఉండదు. ఇంకేం వచ్చేటి తర్వాత వస్తాయి నిదానంగా రేకెత్తాం. So we let us respect and accept the fact that we live in a generation, we belong to the country that respect these art forms like no other country. No other country. And it is because I am an artist, you get that respect. Which other profession will make you stand on the stage and then thousands of them, whether they are doctors, IAS officers, engineers, whatever they are, they could be bureaucrats, politicians, sit down and watch you and listen to you and clap for you. Will you make doctors stand and all of them assemble just to clap him for doing what he is doing? They are doing great. Everybody is great. But only an artist gets to capture the hearts. So, Manasudto Matladi, that's why we call it as Rasa. Rasa Nishpati, Navarasa we heard of, right? But the concept of Rasa is so huge, and then we talk about Navarasa much later. So when I teach Rasa, we teach for months and then talk about one of the Rasas. And then that goes for months. So Rasa is with what you connect and I connect. You are sending your daughter to this classical dance forms because మీకు అన్న ఒక మనసు ఉంది. ఆ మనసుకు అన్నది ఒక శాస్త్రం ఉంది. ఆ మనసుకి ఆ శాస్త్రానికి ఒక పద్ధతి ఉంది. ఆ పద్ధతిలోనే మీ పిల్లలు కూడా ఉండాలి అన్నదానికి ఈ మార్గం ఎంచుకొని మీరు తీసుకొచ్చారు. You have chosen this dance form not because you thought your daughter would look beautiful in the costume. It's because you thought that the dance class will just not teach dance, but so much more. The values, the intrinsic benefits, the health, the mental health, the physical health. Manju Bhargavi garu, because I accompany her, she's 70 plus right now. Even today when she comes on the stage, every pose she pulls, my goodness, what, somebody at 70 dancing like that? And I accompany also, I've been fortunate to also accompany on singing and Advanced to Vaijayantimala. To the people here, elderly, you would know Vaijayantimala very well. Vaijayantimala is 91 now. 91. Even today, ఆవిడ అసలు అలా కూర్చుందంటే అలా ఉందా 91. It's not because she is well-known actress, right? It's because she is a dancer. That her health is still up to the mark. అలాగే ఉంటుంది సన్నగా. I was talking to Padma Bhushan alumni one day, I was telling her, this woman is 60 plus now, 64, 65. In last 50 years, 50 ఏళ్లలో her weight is not increased or decreased by 100 grams. This is too much. 100 grams. She exactly look. You can Google her. Old pictures now, anytime. She's exactly the same. It is the dancer's body. I have crossed 40, and it is really a joy that my body is able to take the kind of hours of stamina we put in. So, pillalu, when you see life in the fast life today, they are put through so much of pressure, right? These children have college to do, school to do, projects to do, assignments to do. They always complain of that, especially in the climates of the US. In India, it's even bad. Because they go to that tuition, this tuition, that tuition, then till 9 o'clock they're doing something else. They're doing karate, they're doing kung fu, they're doing kuchipudi, kung fu. Good combination. And inni chesi, then you're compared. You have some kind of, he's going ahead, he's going ahead. It's not here, thankfully. I hope so. It's not here. But still, there is this benchmark that you make for yourself and start going. That is called as fast life. You're stressed. Sometimes you as a mother and a father don't know how to bring out this girl out of stress. You want to help her, but you don't know how to bring her out. Dancers don't have that. If you observe dancers, because they always since childhood work under stress. For example, when they're sitting and every time class low, after 45 minutes of dance, the teacher still says, "Good job." And the story is, "Good job." They can endure the stress right from the childhood. They know how to take the stress and fight it out. That's the greatest thing. Have you seen that? On stage, whenever you're dancing, it is like 12th minute of the dance. I'm sure her legs are hurting so much, right? Still, when she did smile. Inside, she'll be crying, pain, but then the smile. So, we teach you to smile the toughest situations in your life. You'll endure. You watch the dancers, they're fighters. We are all fighters. Our personal problems, whatever it is, dance is a solution. So don't look at dance as a dance. Dance is an entire thing encapsulated into one thing. It is your spiritual connection. It is your divine connection. Tirupati, when I was dancing recently, last time I told him that I henceforth won't come for your darshanam. Look at this queue. Or you can call me for dance. I mean, I'll come and perform. And then, because if you perform, you get L1 darshanam for selected artists. And that is only if you're a national award. In that time, I told him, 1 year time only, I got the national award. And they invited me to perform in Tirupati. And because I was national awardee, I get L1. And in costume, then the Chakka costume though, I was straight away, you're standing there giving aarti. Which other person with other profession, unless you pay, you get that darshan. Why are you giving that darshan unless you pay? So you're indifferent to anybody. But as an artist, he has called you. He wants you to see him. So then I go, have the darshan, aarti icharu, ayana vesina poolamala teesuku cheti icharu. I have it with me. And this happens in every temple. Kashi, Ujjain, Mahakal, Kashmir, or Madurai, Meenakshi, we went and they just straight away, because they know where we connect, what we do. So every time when they do any dance, now today they will present something about it. When they stand as a Vishnu, you will not see her as a daughter anymore. Many times you as a mother will be wondering, and the because you're not seeing your daughter anymore. You're seeing somebody else that they're trying to be. So that is the power of Indian classical dance. So it keeps you grounded. It keeps you so cultured. It keeps you so aesthetic. You will start liking things. Combination because of a costume taste or makeup taste. We choose very costumes kuda chala neatga. We try to pick up colors. We try to do. And Ranga Pravesham is indeed in US. I know that it is one of the wedding ceremonies only. And it's such grandeur because your parents are so happy to spend it, which in any other case, good parents would just want to spend the kind of money that goes in. It's because the parents also. So you children must always be very thankful that you have parents who are ready to take that efforts and give you guys whatever you want. And in turn, parents, you must be thankful that the children are doing what you want them to do. Whether they take it ahead or not, it's theirs. I never thought that I would become a dancer. Never. I belong to such an orthodox family where everybody have to go to IIT and then go to US. And all my cousins are here. I have not met anybody. Because I am happy meeting dancers. Because that's where my family is and that's what I connect with. I am otherwise an MBA, PhD graduate. I was a marketing professor and I've done this corporate thing too. But then finally I'm a dancer. Because I remember still those days when I traveled abroad from company on behalf, they gave me bouquet and said, "Welcome, sir, we have a meeting scheduled at some time." But if they give bouquet and said, "Namaskar, Mandi, Gurugaru." What a difference. What a beautiful difference that you will get to enjoy yourself. So with that, I'll in between just show you, I think talking is too much. You could think if you have any questions. I'll just perform one episode from Ramayana, some 2-3 episodes, where the first story would be about Valmiki. All of you know that he is the one who's composed Ramayana, right? Now Valmiki is the only saint who was elevated to the level of saint. He does not come from a saintly family. And he was a thief. He was caught doing the theft by Narada when he was trying to thief because to feed his children. Then Narada comes and says, "What do you do?" He says, "No, because I don't know what to do. Please don't take me wrong. I am not a thief otherwise. I have children to feed and I have family to take care of, and that's why I am doing this." So Narada says, "You have better things to do. And just realize this. Why don't you say, and not today." Valmiki used to not clearly pronounce anything. So he says, "You can start saying Rama." And how did he say Rama? That is one of the scenes. The second is, of course, the Sita Swayamvaram and how Jatayu fought for Sita. I am rather highlighting instead of Sita, instead of Ravana being hijacked, I am more interested in that Jatayu. What karma did this bird have from somewhere to come and get killed by this unknown person while fighting for an unknown person? That is the greatest sacrifice. So Indian culture teaches you to sacrifice for somebody you think that you can do something good to them. That's the beauty of this Indian culture. And then he gets moksha from there. And finally, it's Hanuman. One of the most interesting stories of Hanuman is always there. Hanuman is very possessive about Ram. And అందుకే ఇప్పుడు కూడా ఉన్నాడట, ఇంకా తిరుగుతూ ఉంటాడు. And because he's a Chiranjeevi, he's there. And there are people who have seen it. Hanuman in the uphills of Himalayas. Hanuman is possessive about Rama. So everybody is saying Rama and all the devotees are like, Rama, bhajan chestu veltunaru. When they're going, Hanuman just goes and says, "Why are they all saying Rama?" And he goes and says, "We are all going to Ram temple. Say Ayodhya." "What do you mean? My Ram is in your temple?" Hanuman asks. They says, "Of course. He's in this temple. By the way, that's also Ram temple. He's there also." He's in both the places. So you guys have taken Ram? And that's not the thing. He says, "Ram is in me also." Hanuman gets very upset. When Ram is in you, then he says, he could be in you also. He is in you also. So now Hanuman wants to test. That's the beautiful thing about Hanuman. Anything he thinks, he wants to test it. And he tests it with almost powers, Now he's inside you. How do I check he's inside me? So he wants to tear open his chest, but he's scared. He says, "What if Ram is not there? Then I think I feel bad. Then I have to go to the same place where they're all going." Then when he tears open, he sees that Ram is there. Ram is there, Lakshmana is there, Sita. Then the joy for Hanuman is multifold. Andru ekkudo vetukuntunnadu, Ramudu logalo unnadu. And it's a message that he gives about Rama. So through the song called Pibare Ramarasam. Pibare Ramarasam ante Pibare ante drink or have the nectar of a rasa called one of the greatest rasam or payasam is Rama. Rama annapalla the tongue gets sweeter it seems. So we see how this joy is packed into this.
Pibare Ramarasam మరణ 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 జనన జనన మరణ భయ శోక విదూరం సకల శాస్త్ర నిగమాగమసారం పిబరే రామరసం రసనే పిబరే రామరసం పిబరే రామరసం రామరసం పరమహంస వచనామృతసార బ్రహ్మానంద గుణాదికసారం పరమహంస వచనామృతసార బ్రహ్మానంద గుణాదికసారం రామ 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 జయ రామ 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 జయ రామ 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 జయ రామ 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 జయ రామ 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 జయ రామ 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 జయ రామ
There will be a short Q&A after the demonstration. So if you want to think of any questions, feel free to for a few minutes. Thank you.
I hope it made any sense to you. And every time you perform, or when you think you got tears, it's not because you want to act. It's because you feel. You feel Sita. So it's not always that you have to go to temple for us as an artist, because we haven't. Sometimes when the temple is too rushed, he says, somehow he's coming back. No, that is a great life of an artist. So you should all give this life to your children. I think very strongly. So you will be, as I told you, that the Shastra has equally defined the greatness of the parents for training their children for dance. They have selected your womb, fortunately, and you have to do your bit as a mother. And it takes a little years of efforts, but trust me, after that, many times you have very good students, but no good teacher. Sometimes you have excellent teacher, but she's struggling to find good students. But here, I see both are there. So big round of applause to New Jersey Youth and Temple. I hope the story that I told, did it convey to all of you? What I explained and then what I did as a part of it, etc. Right? So, Natat Shastram, Natat Shilpam, Nasa Vidya, Nasa Kala. Nasa Yogo, Natat Karmin, Natyasmin, Yenda Drashyate. He says, Natat Shastram. All the four Vedas and 108 Upanishads are found in dance. And that's why they say, Rig Vedo Pattiha, Yajur Vedo Bhya. So each Veda, they have extracted one thing. Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda, Sam Veda, Sangeeta. And then they have made this fifth Veda called Natya Veda. And he says, the essence of all the four Vedas and entire concept of Upanishad, I have put it in Natya Veda. Hence, this can be considered the Veda, says Brahma. Tan Panchama Vedo Upanishadha. So he says this can be hence considered as the fifth Veda. So if you learn dance, it's equal to you having Natat Shastra. There is no Shastra that is not explained. Natat Shilpa. Every pose you give, you become a goddess. Whether it is Hanuman, he, she, demon, you want to show, how quick you need for yourself to transform into Ravana, into Sita, into somebody who abducted, into a bird, into an animal. So that's a power you actually get from something. So as I told you from the beginning, again he comes back here and explains that outside achievements is one way. You get an award, you get a degree, you get all that. How good are you from inside? The purification of inside happens from dance. Because he talks about Sattvic Abhinaya, Sattvo Sattvatihi Sattvikaha. So it's the most purest point within you when you start clearing. And then you start feeling the mantra. I used to ask Guruji, there are so many great dancers who want to smile, they can smile. Who want to cry, they can get tears. So we used to speak about Savitri for such an actress, right? She could cry from one eye and all that. As a great actress, it is not because they have practiced to cry. It is because they can, because they are bestowed by the divine powers to do so. And it is not you crying, it is somebody is giving you permission to do so. To feel it. One of the greatest. So, Sattvic Abhinaya, it gives you a purification process. So, I think you being in America is a perfect combination if you learn Indian classical dance, because on one side you are achieving everything from outside, and the dance teacher is taking, and your parents are taking care of your inner purification. And combination of both makes you a perfect personality. I think that personality is something which I think many who are not Indians always wonder why these Indians are this smart, why these Indians are this amazing, or this gentle. It is how we are. It is a culture. It's just we are rekindling ourselves from within and to show how powerful we were in the past and we can be again. And that's the message that we continue to give from this. Again, he says, Nasa Yogo Nathat Karmen. Every karma is to finally lead you into the world of arts to purify yourself. Nasa yoga. What yoga? So there's yoga into this fully. So this is what dance, the karate, aerobics, zumba. Even I always tell them that even the mother's batch must go and start. There is no age to begin. Anyway, you're bringing your children for 1 hour. Why not all these mothers start off with another batch and etc. With that as an idea, I have seen mothers putting up in Ranga Pravesham also. They're like daughters. We are busy. And all the mothers together put a group Ranga Pravesham. You know. Again, each one of you are dancing not because you want to become, you get a Padma Shri or you want to become the who's who of America. It's because you want to dance. You always had that little craving within you. And so there is no age to dance. You can dance, and that goes good with men also. Incidentally, it is very ironic that you see very few men in the class. Indian classical dance, especially Kuchipudi, was meant only for men. Women never danced. Did you know that? It was not allowed for women to dance. Only men danced this dance form until about 70 years ago, when Vedanta Lakshminarayan Shastri Garu, a great pioneer of art form, said, why don't we open this out to the other gender also? And little space they gave to them. And they took over. Otherwise, you would have not seen any of the women here. It would be only men dancing. That's how the two traditions, Kathakali in India and Kuchipudi are both Natya traditions, which is drama tradition. We are not dance. Kuchipudi is not dance, it's a drama. It's a tradition where the theatre comes in, like we also sing. Now, in between we have to come and the dancer has to sing and say the dialogues also, which is what makes Kuchipudi the most toughest. Right? So when suddenly you act also. Hey, peru chepide mullokamulu gata 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 anukuno yaksha kinnara kimpurusha devata asurula kanna minna shiva bhaktudini bhakta shikamani dashakantunni gadhadurunni lankeshwarunni anaga Ravanunni. This you have to do between the dance. And how many of them are capable of doing? And then you can come back and sing also. You should be able to sing. Like, I have not learned music at all in my life. But we can all sing. I mean, that comes with a dance like that, the impact is that way. So, before we present our performance, I have 3 students. We trained them in last 3-4 days, they learned this composition on Dashavatara Tarangam. It is about Dashavatara, the 10 incarnations you will see about Lord. Somewhere in between, I'll first do the shloka, then I'll come back at the last again and join them. And I would love for you to watch. Please excuse any flaws, because this is a dance form where one item we dance for many years, and then we still feel that there's imperfections. So this is just the 5th day of them having listened to this only for that 60 minutes in the day. So I'm so proud that they've at least come forward and gotten ready. And I saw them at halfway. Thanks. So girls, thank you. We'll start with this is about Dashavatara. There's a shloka to begin with, and then the girls will start on. Yeah.
भुजगेन्द्र महासनाय देवाय नाभिकमलोदित पद्मजाय गगनामल नित्य बोधाय नमः परस्मै शरणं गच्छामि संघं शरणं गच्छामि बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि संघं शरणं गच्छामि कृष्ण कल्कि गोपी गोधन
Wonderful performance. I don't know. I don't have any words to say with it. Other than just awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here for the kids and sharing your knowledge, Vasant. Should we open up if any questions?
Yes.
Any questions, please let us know. If you have not, yes, I think. Go ahead.
Dashavatar Balaji is not there.
Dashartha.
And the timelines of each god, when you consider, the incarnations has 10, as described by 2. And we have 2 versions of Dashavataras, where in one particular version, which is Jayadeva's poet, which is from north, he mentions Buddha, and Narayana Tirtha mentions Buddha. There are other versions where they don't mention this, but some of them add Balarama as another one. Okay? Balaji is an incarnation, not taken for any particular process. So, incarnations that were taken for a particular purpose is avatars. Balaji is an incarnation. A Rakshasino Chapadanko to slay a demon, he was not there. So, from the Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narasimha, Vamana, Parashurama, Sri Rama, Balarama, Krishna, Kalki. When you have these, you will not see, you will see that everybody had a final end destination to save that yoga, or to be, that was ended because of the demon. So from the beginning you have Hiranyaksha. And then in the, Matsya, then you had Kurma, which is Halahala. And then you had Varaha, where he had to do it because of the Bhudevi was taken away. The goddess Earth was taken away. 4th was Hiranyakashipu, who wanted to take revenge because of his brother Hiranyaksha in the first. And then, so Vamana, Bali. Ala prototype oktundi. And they all have that one, Rama is Ravana, Krishna, Kamsa. You can connect. But Balaji is, you don't have another demon or anything. He is a Kaliyuga Daiva, who is one of the incarnations, of course, of Vishnu. But he does not categorize under this because these avatars were told because he saved the universe. Balaji is still in the process. Venkateshwar Swami is still on the job. Maybe one day, if we have some Rakshasa coming, maybe he would be added as the 11th one. But we are still waiting for the 10th Kalki. It seems he's entered from Shambhalapuram. That's the next entry up from the earth behind Badrinath. If you go through Himalayas at the end, there's a new world that started called Shambhalapuri. We have named the already. Shambhalapuram, I already entered Kalki. You don't know when he'll come. So that's there, and then we'll very good. That's the avatar. So that's why Balaji Garu is more respectful. He has many other things to handle, including 2 wives. So demons were later. Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Any other quick questions? Yes.
So how different?
You can please sit down.
How different is Kuchipudi from Bharatanatyam? అలాగే ఒక ఫామ్ ఏదైనా నేస్తే అది భరతనాట్యంకి కూచిపూడి డిఫరెన్స్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది, కిడ్స్కి మనము కూచిపూడి ఎందుకు నేర్పించాలి భరతనాట్యం కాకుండా అంటే
quickly give you the answer. Yeah. Basically, that's a very good question because usually there is a confusion between Bharatanatyam and Kuchipudi because they look alike and all that. They do look alike and it's fair enough because they both belong to Dakshinatya. Shastra Prakaranga, he has divided the whole dance forms into Dakshina, Audramagadi, Panchali, Madhyama. He divides them. So in Dakshina, we are all following the same Shastra principles. For example, it is Natya Shastra. So what we do as Pataka for them also. That mudras is same. That is one reason. Second, we both come from south where jerry borders are very particular for us. So that's why you see the costumes will have jerry borders, sarees will have jerry borders. So that is in Tamil Nadu also, that is in Andhra also. With Kuchipudi, where it was particularly Andhra Pradesh, Bharatanatyam, it is said Tamil Nadu, but I in my research have always argued that is not the case. Because then there was no divisions of Tamil Nadu and it was a Dravid Desha. It was all south. And Madras was a capital. It was political capital in terms of everything. So automatically a lot of artists found going there more beneficial than anything. In US, you know you have few pockets which are more beneficial to stay. So you find those places. So artists went and stayed there and they made name for Madras. So that is another political reason. But otherwise, Bharatanatyam is a very linear structure. We came from a Devadasi Parampara. Bharatanatyam came from a Devadasi Parampara. Kuchipudi came from a Natya Parampara. We are a drama. That's a dance. Like for example, while doing here, we portray dramas very, very clearly. We have dialogues that I showed now. Here also you saw we make sounds in between. You hear us screaming and all that, which you don't see in Bharatanatyam. And we are allowed to use properties here. You know, in Kuchipudi we use Gadha, we use all that and bring it and all that. Bharatanatyam we use everything in the mudra form only. This is Gadha for us, this is Padma for us. We also have mudras, but Kuchipudi is more an elaborate drama. Bharatanatyam is a very particular single form, and it is all lines. Kuchipudi is all curves. For Bharatanatyam, for us one adu would be like tak, dikku, tak. So it's very strict. Kuchipudi is tak, dikku. You see that the entire body. If I have to take a Kuchipudi pose, it would be this and then this. But Bharatanatyam pose would be very very linear. So Bharatanatyam is you follow the lines and Kuchipudi is very curved. It's very linear and Kuchipudi throws the body, and it's very challenging to do Kuchipudi because it follows the opposite of kinestheology, which is kinesthetics of the body. That's movement science and name Laban theory ani German law, they have started working on that part very strongly. We have disproved every theory of Laban because they say the motors of the body, you ila etite ila pike vastundi and all that. Kuchipudi has proved everything wrong because we do opposites, and we are doing it. So they are studying Kuchipudi in Laban now, in Freie University in Berlin. So I visited them. So it was a shocker for them to see that all their theories did not work. So that's the greatness of this Indian art form. We can continue to for a motor thing, right? Yeah. For example, if we are tapping right in Bharatanatyam, what we do? So this is usual tendency. Right kodtuna kapti right nadustandi. But me right kal pedte right kal. But Kuchipudi goes reverse. I'm tapping right and going left. The motors all work reverse, and it's very difficult for them to do that. And here, what I did was on plate. Today we did not have plate, or we're not allowed to, so we did not do on the plate. Otherwise, we do on the brass plate. Because he says the moksha or the salvation is possible only when you leave this earthly connections, and then you get moksha. So Tirupati, if you go in Tirupati temple, the Balaji is standing on the reverse plate, the brass plate put reverse. He is standing on that, not on the floor. So that was observed by Kuchipudi people, and they included that in Tarangams. So we dance on the plate. You would have seen it on the brass plate. So that is because when you stand on the plate, you leave the connection from the earth, and on the plate you are directly in unison with the Supreme. That's the blessing part. So that's why I have a Gurukula now, which is near to Bangalore, where I run for poor and underprivileged. I quit all the jobs, small Bangalore. Now I stay in a small village away, where we raise funds and feed a lot of children. We teach them all art form in rural India, and we educate them and all that. So I'm happy to be amongst them. We have cows, so we have Goshala that we're trying to build now. So that the dancers also, when they come, they get to see this side of the world and nature also. So that's the intention that I'm taking this Indian rich art form to the rural parts of India also. Namaste.
Actually, I have one last question, Vasant Garu. So, India lo, it's probably easier when you tell a kid about doing homework or sadhana or practice. How do we enhance that, or how do we get that into the, you've seen the US and the kids environment. So if you can just a little bit.
Yeah. Actually, I'm not very good with teaching kids. Because for 15, 16 years I taught in university for PG students, so I've lost touch of teaching kids. But with kids, they always, these days kids especially, one, they're open to challenges. You need to tell them that it's a challenge. And you need to tell them that you have some perks out of it. Like, what is an advantage? Like, idi cheste, neeku, idi sta. I mean, there is some chocolate hanging, and they would do it. And it becomes a practice. Until it becomes practice, I'm not telling you give them chocolate per se, but give them a good deadline where you finish all this number of classes, end of this year, I'll take you to a good trip. You'll anyway plan a trip, for example. But convert that into a sellable thing for them. Because they're kids. You can't stress them out and tell them that you have to sit bending for 20 minutes and it doesn't work for them. Because they would say why. And US students are very good in asking why all the time. And when if they're not convinced, they will not take it. India lo there's a katti kotti petti, it all works. Katti kotti petti, nothing works. No, you have to be good with your convincing skills. Tell them advantage. And please remember, end of the day, they have Indian connection in their blood. They do listen. They need some good, what do you say, understanding, a good reason why you want them to practice, good reason what is the benefit of if they practice. Tell them about Aragetram, tell them about costume, tell them how beautiful they would look if they get dressed, and that will happen only if you practice so, and give them that fixed deadline. Don't make it every month or every week thing, but overall, end of this year, we have to go every week to the class. Only the vacation we are not going, and when we are going, this is your target. Teacher em chepte vinali. That 1 hour you are under teacher, and whatever teacher tells you have to do it. Make it part of their practice, and I think they're wonderful kids. Look at them. In 4 days, if they can dance like this, give them 1 year. వాళ్ళ నా చేతికి ఇచ్చేసేయండి.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for all those inspiring words and inspiring performances. Thank you so much. I would like to acknowledge a thank you and from the chairman of the temple, a small token of appreciation. Radhika? Radhika. Venkat Garu, please come. The president, Lions Club, please come and ex-president, Lions Club, Venkat Jagalu, please bless.